So, of course, England are in action tonight up against Poland, of course, for the World Cup qualifiers out in Qatar. But let's just say we lived in a parallel universe where, of course, players from the Premier League abroad could not be selected for, of course, the national team. But today we're going to show the 23 players that I've selected from the Championship that, of course, would represent England. Let's get into it. That's right, folks, back once again, of course, with another video today. We're taking a look at the English national team, but today we're going to do a bit of a twist on it, of course, and take a look at what the 23-man squad would look like if it could be only made up of Championship players. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Of course, a big shout out to the VIP Band of Brothers, the patrons supporting the channel behind the bloody scenes. That's right. And of course, make sure you check out the descriptions. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and of course, Patreon again. And again, make sure you give the video some love and smash the thumbs up, smash your subscribe. So let's get cracking, of course, and take a little look at what I'm talking about. Of course, I've got my 23-man squad here, and if you've got eagle eyes amongst you, you can probably see the names coming on through, because I can see them. And we're going to take a look at the squad that I think could be made up of Championship players if, of course, those in the Premier League and, of course, abroad could not be picked. So here we go. We're going to go from, of course, goalkeepers all the way through to the last man, of course, up atop, of course, leading the charge. And, of course, then I'll give you my best 11 out these 23-man squad. So let's get cracking. Kick it all off. It is a Cardiff goalkeeper, Alex Smithies. That's right. He's actually, 31 years of age these days. Of course, Cardiff's #1. Played 27 games this season. Of course, as Cardiff have started to climb the table, he would be in consideration to be #1 for the England national team. Again, if it was just Championship players. Joining alongside him is actually Freddie Woodman, of course, from Swansea, and again they're doing very, very well for themselves, and this guy does have a good future ahead of him. Only 24 years of age. Of course, on the books at Swansea is the #1. 36 times this season he's played for them, and of course, as Swansea continue to push. Now, a bit of a disclaimer before we get into the meat of the matter here: the players that are on loan from Premier League clubs are also excluded. So the players that are in this 23-man squad are actually owned by Championship clubs. So of course your Harvey Elliott's, your Oliver Skipps, and the like, of course, cannot be included in this. So just putting that straight up. These are actually Championship players, not borrowed. So kicking off forward, we do have Daniel Bentley, of course, on the books of Bristol City these days. 27-year-old goalkeeper. He's actually had a competition for #1 over the past few seasons, but of course he's outright #1. A good keeper as well. I think he's a sort of a decent at this level, and I think it's a decent set of hands. Of course, I put him in the top 6 goalkeepers within the division, and of course he goes under the radar a lot. 27-year-old Daniel Bentley, of course, 36 times this season in the Championship, and doing very, very well for himself. As for into the defensive core now, we go with some centre-backs, starting off with, of course, mighty boy Steve Cook from, of course, Bournemouth. One of the veterans of this 23-man squad. He could be in contention to captain the team here. Of course, played for Bournemouth this season 34 times. Got himself an assist as well. He's been sent off though, but hey, don't worry about that. You need a bit of authority at the back there. So Stevie Cook, one of my centre-backs, of course, for this England squad. Joining him will be in the eye is Dale Fry, of course, on the books of Middlesbrough. Of course, young gun, still 23 years of age. Seems to be a forever part of Middlesbrough's core these days. 30 times he's played from the get-go. A couple of substitutes as well. He's got a goal and an assist as well to his name, as Middlesbrough still in the mix, of course, trying to get into that top 6. But again, he's young, 23 years of age. Dale Fry, could he actually make the English squad in the future? We'll have to wait and see. Joining alongside Dale Fry, and of course, Cookie Boy is, of course, Sean Morrison. Now, this is a bit of a weird one here. He's actually available for the Irish and, of course, England. And I don't know why he's not going to declare his intention to play for Ireland. But, of course, while he's up for grabs, you know what? I'll have him. I'll take him in my Championship England squad. He's a very, very capable man. Again, just like Smithies, Cardiff are on the climb, and I'll have Sean Morrison in there, no questions asked. 30 years of age, played for Cardiff this season, 37 times, give or take. And, of course, scored 5 goals as a defender as well. Goal scoring centre-back, couple of assists as well. And he seems to be also of a captain material as well. So him and Cookie could be the heartbeat of my defence, depending on what formation I go. I've also got another centre-back, and it is a Millwall man. Of course, Millwall well represented in this 23-man squad. Jake Cooper is there. Of course, again, reasonable age as well, 26 years of age. And of course, ever present for Jake for Millwall these days. 34 times this season. Got a goal and a couple of assists as well. Again, captain material, young gun, sort of Lionheart spirit. And of course, you know, I'm glad to include a whole bunch of Millwall boys in this lineup. Of course, a 26-year-old Jake Cooper alongside Morrison Morrison, Fry, Cook as well. Do I have another one? I have a bit of a... Oh, no, I don't. We go into the fullbacks here. We've got Rico Henry. Of course, youngish 23-year-old left back for, of course, Brentford as they make the push, not just for players, but of course, automatics. Of course, one of the best, if not the best, left back, or in contention with it anyway, within the division. Of course, still 23 years old. Played 30 times this season. Got the one goal, couple of assists as well. Rico Henry. I do anticipate him playing in the Premier League next season, but will it be for Brentford or will it be somewhere else? Alongside Rico Henry, competing for that left back honours will be matey boy Lloyd Kelly for, of course, on the books of Bournemouth. Of course, also well represented in this 23-man squad. He is also 22 years old, very, very young. He can play at centre-back as well, so he's a bit of a wild card, you know, if we need a bit extra cover. 27 times he started from the get-go for Bournemouth this season. 4 assists as well from left-back, which is a good number as well. And, of course, Bournemouth trying to get back into that top 6 reckoning. And, of course, should he be in the Premier League next season? Could very well be. Also, I've got another one. Again, this one, another bit of a wild card. He is a young gun. Not many... I think he's the one and only Reading guy in here. There are some questions about a lot of these Reading guys. And, of course, Omar Richard, get them in now because he's off to Bayern, I think, in the summer. Is that right? I think his transfer is sealed. He's still technically a Championship player. He's only 23 years of age, plays at left back. 32 times he's played for Reading this season. No assists, no goals, but it's okay. He provides a lot of energy. And, of course, part of a very, very attractive-looking Reading side. That surprised many for their season so far. But Omar Richard should get a lot of credit for his efforts at the back. But, yeah, a couple of other guys. Elise is borderline. I think he's actually committed to France at the moment. So some of those other exciting players, whether they are dual nationality, a lot of them, you know, may have played time for the under 21 teams for other nations. So if those guys like Michael Elise fall into that consideration, I've probably gone against them. So these guys are wide open or have expressed their desire to play for England at a junior level. So Richards is in there, though, at left back. Joining him will be, of course, on the right-hand side is Max Aarons, of course, on the books of Norwich. There's a couple of guys in the Norwich team that will be in this team. Of course, 21 years of age, hotly linked with some bigger clubs, Bayern, of course, Barcelona as well. We're looking at Max Aarons, but of course he stayed with the Canaries this season. Only 21 years of age. 38 times he's played for the Championship side this season in the league, just one goal. But again, he is an exciting prospect. And again, youth on his side. Pace. He's got a lot of energy to him. Of course, he could be in the reckoning for an actual senior squad push probably next season. Again, with the Canaries likely to go up to the Premier League next season. Of course, joining him out right back contention will be matey boy Adam. Where is he? I've lost him. He's Smithy boy, of course, at the books of Bournemouth. Adam Smith, of course, he's actually 29 years of age. He's a bit of a veteran. Plays on the right-hand side. Can also play in defensive midfield on the right-hand side as well, sort of wing-back. He's very versatile, of course, decent option as well. 29 years of age. Played 31 times this season for Bournemouth. 5 assists as well for the man, of course. And again, adds a bit more experience to this very, very young-looking side. But again, we'll have him out right-back consideration. Joining him into midfield. Now we go. We're going to take a little look at, of course, matey boy from Chumbalar, from of course Watford, Nathan Chumbalar. That's right, 26 years of age, defensive midfielder. He's actually got a cap to his name already, so it has a bit of experience. He's been there, seen it, done it, knows where the kitchen is, knows where the bathroom is. So he is, of course, main bred material, of course. Played 29 times for the Championship side from the get-go. A couple of substitute appearances as well. 3 goals as well from defensive midfield. It's also a nice little statistic as well. Just the 1 assists. Again, adds a bit of bite in midfield. Nathaniel Chumbalar is your main man in defensive midfield. Alongside him, or competing with him, was another Millwall man, of course, Ryan Woods. That's right, he is, of course, 27 years of age. Has a bit more experience, of course. And of course, as Millwall continue to upset the odds along the way, they're an awkward kind of team. You know, you don't know what you're going to get with Millwall. Of course, Cooper and now Woods adds a bit of Millwall, bit of London a bite in midfield, and of course across the defensive core. Of course, 34 times he's played this season. A couple of assists to his name as well. Ryan Woods, decent capture as well by Millwall, formerly the books of Brentford, I believe, back in the day. So yeah, he has also a better defensive option alongside Chumbalar in midfield. Alongside him will of course be Will Hughes. That's right, always tipped to do very, very well for himself. Formerly Derby as well. Of course, who cannot forget that bleach blonde hair, or that? I think it's El Natural blonde hair, but it is bright blonde. Of course, capturing the heartbeat of midfield. Will Hughes these days of Watford, 25 years of age as well, and can play across the middle of the park there. Decent little, more of attacking option than the likes of of Woods and Chamberlain, but a still decent option. And again, only 25 years of age. Will Hughes from Watford. Alongside him is Matt Grimes, of course, ex-Rover, of course, captain material as well, leading the charge for Swansea. Again, a bit more defensive than Hughes, but again, he's of course adds a bit more crunch. If he'll play 33 times this season from the get-go, scored 2 goals, 2 assists as well for Swansea as they make the push for not only automatic players but also automatics. As we go a little bit further forward, we can take a little look at Lewis Cook. That's right, he is 24 years of age for Bournemouth these days. Again, more attacking, more in the likes of a Will Hughes sort of role. But guess what? He adds a bit of spice, a bit of flair in midfield. 30 times he's played so far for Bournemouth, just 1 goal, 1 assist. But again, that's Bournemouth trying to adapt back to Championship football. But again, he's still a handy little player at this level, and of course beyond. Of course, now representing my England team right here, right now. During him, as we go to Josh Da Silva from Brentford, Brentford. That's right. Of course, 22 years of age, young gun. Of course, I think he's available for another national side, but I think he's kind of declared his interest more in line with England. Of course, played 26 times from the get-go, 5 goals, 4 assists. Much more of a creative player than the previous bunch of midfielders, but he's a good option for not only Brentford but of course England in the Championship, of course, and we'll kick it on further now with, of course, a bit more width on this one. Of course, we've got matey boy, a man bun extraordinaire. It's Todd Cantwell, of course, from the leaders Norwich. Of course, we'll play 22 times, just 22 times. Bit of a slow start. I think he might have been injured. 5 goals, 3 assists from out wide. Of course, he's a handful, especially at this level. And of course, a lot of clubs were looking at him in the Premier League, but he stuck to his guns with the Canaries. I know, of course, he'll be hopefully leading them back out in the attacking sort of sense in the Premier League next season. So Todd Cantwell, a good option, still young, 23 years of age. Alongside him, though, of course, a real good player. I've always liked this guy, Jed Wallace, set-piece dynamo, still 27 years of age, playing for the books, of course, Millwall. Played 36 times this season, 8 goals as well, 4 assists. Definitely the highest goal scorer in the department so far as we get to the final 3. But of course, it's going to start getting a little bit more fruitful up top. So Jed Wallace is in contention to start in my 11, of course, for this Championship-based England 23. Kicking on forward we go, and it is, of course, your main man. It is Ivan Toney. That's right. 25 years of age, formerly of Newcastle, formerly of Peterborough. Of course, goal-scoring machine last season, but he scores ripping them up at the Championship this year. Of course, 28 goals to his name. He is the top goal scorer at the Championship with 9 assists. Of course, with 35 matches, of course, for Brentford. Of course, he should be in the Premier League next season. Will he be there with Brentford? Probably, but we'll have to wait and see, of course. And alongside him is my man, of course, is Adam Armstrong. That's right. A fantastic start to the season. Kind of got a little bit cold recently. 19 goals in the league so far this season, 33 games as well. Had a bit of an injury in the past 6 weeks or so, but hopefully he'll be back to his very, very best this Friday up against Wigan. Of course, only 24 years of age, hotly linked with, of course, West Ham, Brighton, that sort of stuff. And there's a chance that he will be playing Premier League football, but of course, not with Blackburn Rovers next season. And then finally, the final striker in our books is Dominic Solanke, of course, for Bournemouth. That's right. He is 23 years of age. I think he might even got an England cap. Correct me if I'm wrong. 11 goals this season, 30 appearances as well for Bournemouth. Again, more experience, formerly of Liverpool as well. So you've got 3 real hardcore options up top, and then you got your attacking sort of do it. It might be a little bit subdued here, a little bit more defensive, this 23-man squad, but ultimately it provides goals, it provides some experience, and of course some youth as well. But anyway, let's just take a look at, of course, my starting 11 from this 23-man squad as we, of course, close in on kickoff for Poland. So I would go with a 4-1-4-1 formation with, of course, Freddie Woodman at goalkeeper, of course, Rico Henry at left back, Morrison, Cook, and then Max Aarons at right back. Yeah, Matty Grimes in midfield alongside Cook and Hughes, pulling the strings in there. Of course, Cantwell out left, Jed Wallace on the right, and of course Ivan Toney up top. And then you're left with a plethora of course, substitutes to kind of kick on forward as England try to make something out of it. How well would this team fare in, of course, the World Cup qualifying campaigns? Would it be better than Scotland's team? Would it be better than Wales' team? What do you think? Let me know in the old comment section down below, of course. And also let me know if I've missed the beat on some players. Of course, like I said, the players that are on loan, your Oliver Skips, your Harvey Elliott's, I think there's even Bentley, of course, who's on the books, I think, at Middlesbrough, all on loan from Premier League clubs. So I've avoided those, and these are your main players that, of course, are in the Championship, and they belong to Championship clubs as of recording. Anyway, let me know in the comment section, and we might even do something similar to like this again. But anyway, until then, give the video a love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Of course, check the links down below on Twitter, Facebook, and of course Twitch, as well as Patreon as well. Make sure you check all that stuff out. And again, if you want a sports channel in another way, Patreon is the best place to do it. Until then, I'll see you all soon for another one. Until then, I'm out.